But my experience in Bristol has been absolutely fantastic.
What I've learnt the most from Bristol is how to be independent.
I've certainly enjoyed my time studying at Bristol. The department is one of the leading institutions in the fields of igneous petrology and volcanology. I also relished the opportunity to interact with some of the leading minds in these fields.
The city of Bristol is actually a really beautiful city. You can nip across the gorge and you're straight into the countryside, which is really nice.
The fact it's the #1 cycling city in the country is great for me. I cycle around a lot.
The Earth Sciences department are very welcoming. All the lecturers and professors welcome you into their research. I've developed really good transferable skills such as planning and organisation. When I did fieldwork in Chile, we were camping in quite a remote location. There were no corner shops to go to or anything. So we had to plan and bring all the materials that we needed, all the food that we needed for a week in the field. And during that time we were working really hard, maximising the daylight hours and maximising our time. So we were working long days, and so I developed a very good work ethic, and I'm sure will put me in good stead.
From pretty much day one, the professors expect you to be independent, and I love that. We do stuff like all these field trips where you have to organise yourself.
I really liked the kind of integrated and informal nature of the department. An undergraduate can easily speak to a postgraduate or even a professor.
My project is basically to make a geospatial database of the plutons in Chile along the Chilean Andes, and I was trying to make their location, their age and their depth in this 4-dimensional data set. Basically the whole aim was really to see how these relate to the subduction margin, how these relate to each other, how these relate to all the structures in Chile. And actually it's been incredibly helpful because most porphyry copper deposits, which is what the BHP project is interested in, most of them form over shallow plutons. But nobody's really thought about how the depth of the pluton really affects the porphyry copper deposit and whether it has to be shallow, whether the depth influences the grade, influences the size. I think my project's really contributing to the bigger picture. It's setting a basis for something that could be really helpful for prospecting in the future.
Well, I've been looking at the geological structure in northern Chile. So I've been looking at a very specific area, very small area, but then I've also been putting that into the bigger picture and trying to understand how the regional tectonics of the whole of the central Andes is related to mineralisation and economic deposits in that area.
I have aspirations to continue into academia and do a PhD once I've graduated, and I feel that my undergraduate studies have given me a taste of what it's like to work within a kind of research intensive environment, also given me the skills necessary to work independently. For example, field trips to both Santorini and Scotland have allowed me to work independent of supervisors or other people, to plan what I'm doing each day and how I'm going to achieve certain objectives. So the project has also given me experience in report writing and improving scientific communication.
Ultimately I've learned what you put in is what you get out, and I just think that's a really great life skill.